Hello, YouTube. My name is Casey. Welcome back. This week's video is going to be about the experience of going to get an EEG to detect whether or not I had epilepsy. So same thing as I'm kind of working on. I'm going to keep an eye on the time, so I have a timer on my camera. Just so that I don't have to edit my videos as much, just because it does give me tremors and it makes me mentally tired to edit. So I'll try my really hard best to speak well and get to the point. But I think my last video was about me being in the hospital for the week, trying to decide, what was going on and whatnot. I wanted to make a quick note. Look how cool my hair is. I just got these braids done by a friend, and if you are on Terrace, I will link her Instagram down below so that you can check her out. But I've been doing some kind of beauty therapy to help me kind of get through. So it was really funny for my EEG. When I first got sick, February 16th, they told me that I had to wait till May 30th to get my EEG in a town that was about 6 to 8 hours away from me. So that was kind of not ideal, especially because I was having a lot of seizure-like activity. I was very unfunctional, bedridden, and so because I'm a young person and my doctor is quite good and I was in and out of the hospital a lot, they were able to bump it. So I think it was a couple of days after I got to the hospital, we got a phone call from my doctor and he's like, "Hey, would you be able to go to Prince George tomorrow for an EEG?" And we're like, okay. So we knew this was going to happen. We knew it was possible. So what we had to do, I had to call Josiah. He was at work, and pretty well say, "Hey, do you want to drive all night long? Because from Terrace to Prince George, it's about 6 to 8 hours. And take me to my appointment. Because, we're not going to fly. My parents aren't going to drive me all night." So he was like, "Yep, let's do it." So he finished the day at work, got all of his stuff packed. I packed all of my stuff. And we drove all night to Prince George. The driving part was super hard for me. Josiah was fine. Like, his family is used to driving at nighttime. But for me, as well, my test for my EEG, I had to be sleep deprived. So I could have 4 hours of sleep, but that was it. And I take medication that sedates you, so I was like, "Well, this isn't gonna work very well." So by the time it was I think we left Terrace at 8. By the time it was 10 o'clock, I was falling asleep. I was fighting myself to stay awake. So Josiah would roll the windows down, freeze me out, try to keep me up. And then I'd get a second wind. But yeah, the drive was really hard for me. He did perfectly fine. He was super good. I did try to sleep. My plan was to sleep from 2 o'clock in the morning till 6, so that I could get up, because my appointment was at 7, so that I could get up at get up at 6 and get ready for my appointment. But I think I fell asleep at 2 for half an hour, and then we hit Vanderhoof, which is right outside of Prince George anyways. So we got a snack, and then we got to our hotel around, I can't remember, it was 3 or 4 o'clock, and then we had a hard time checking in. They were telling us that we didn't make an appointment or book with them, and my dad had called them. We're so lucky. He had called the day of that night and was my kid is coming tonight. They're going to drive all night long. They're going to check in the middle of the night. Is that okay? And they're like, "Yeah, that's fine. We'll send you a confirmation email." They never sent it. So we called again, just to get a confirmation number. Again, they never sent it, but he said, "Here, I'll just give you the confirmation number." And so luckily, because when we went to check in, he was like, "You guys don't have a booking. I don't know what you're talking about." So I gave him a confirmation number, and he was like, "Oh, yeah, here you are, you're right here." So I'm like, okay. We're both tired, we're both dying. So we get into our room. It was actually a really nice room. It was a really nice place, the Sandman. I think we got there at 3 or 4. Maybe it was 4 or 5. Like it was like enough time where we were like, ooh, like should we sleep? But we felt like if we went to sleep, we would never wake back up because we were so tired from the drive. And so what we did was we paced around, we stayed up, we just like, we fought through it. So my appointment was at 7 something. I can't actually remember. It was 7 o'clock-ish. So we got up early. Well, we didn't even go to bed. So I think I showered. Or no, I didn't even shower. Yeah, I like barely remember because we were so sleep deprived, but we drove around Prince George. We wanted to find the hospital. We wanted to get breakfast and eat. And then I did my test, which was really interesting. And it was really funny because Josiah doesn't like hospitals. So he like I was still in a I am still in a wheelchair, but at the time I was really in a wheelchair. So I couldn't walk at all. So he wheeled me in there, saw kind of all the wires and the tools and was like, okay, I'm gonna pass out, I need to leave. So he left and just sat in the car. And the test was really interesting. I've never done an EEG. They glue a bunch of electrodes to your head, and I'll see if I can find a copyright-free photo to show you this. And then they do a series of testing, like turning off the lights, flashing things, they turn music on, and they want you to fall asleep. That's why they make you sleep deprived. So I actually fell asleep, and then he banged the table, and the other one was flashing like strobe lights, and the whole time I had like seizure-like activity. So I was like 100% sure I had epilepsy because I could not stop. My muscles, everything, I was ticking, I was shaking, I was like, okay, I have epilepsy. And so when the test was done, usually like the guy who did the test said, usually you don't see the neurologist. He'll look at your test results today, but they send it to your family doctor, and then like, I don't know, he said that usually you see the neurologist in like a year and they figure stuff out, but you don't usually see the neurologist the day of. So we went home or to our hotel. We're like, finally some sleep. And then like a few minutes after we got home, we got a call from the hospital, and it was like, the neurologist would like to see you today, which never happens. So we were like, okay. So to me, that meant two things. Either I have epilepsy, or like there's something else that's wrong that's like really important, and that's why I need to see us. So then we were like, and the appointment was at 1, and I think it was like 9 o'clock. So we were like, do we try and go to sleep? But again, we were both like, well, if we go to sleep, like, we're just never going to wake back up. So we went to the mall in Prince George. We got food. They have I love smoothies. So they have a booster juice. They have a Lululemon, which we don't have in Terrace. Like, they have a big mall. So we went shopping, which was fun, had snacks, and then went back to the appointment. And so, to our surprise, I do not have, and I think I said this in the last video, I don't have epilepsy. So the neurologist said there was absolutely no sign of seizures or epilepsy in the brain. So it was really interesting because I had a lot of like seizure. It's not called seizure activity. So I had a lot of tremors, a lot of muscle tremors, really bad. And everything that this man was doing for my test was setting it off. And so now it's okay, what do you have? So now I'm being tested and, what's the word? Investigated for something called Wilson's disease. So this is a rare disease, and I'll explain it really quickly. If you have Wilson's disease, it means that both their parents have to carry a gene. It doesn't mean that they have the disease. It just means they carry the gene, and then your kids will get the disease. And what it means is that your body can't filter out copper. So what will happen is there's copper in food. There's copper in a lot of things. Like there's copper in kale and like chocolate and spinach, like a lot of random things, because we've been doing lots of research. So what happens is the copper gets stored in your brain and in your liver, and it damages your organs. So if it was really bad, I would have liver failure. So they said well, the neurologist said if it is Wilson's, we caught it early enough because it kind of shows up like seizures, because I have really, really bad tremors, I have weakness, I have clumsiness. And then I guess I had a weird blood test, but I kind of talked to my doctor about that, and he said that the weird blood test could mean other things. Don't really know. The other test was an eye test. So if you have it again really bad, like if you're in liver failure, you'll get copper rings in your eyes. And so I did that test as well. I don't have copper rings in my eyes, but again, they said that would be like if you're going through liver failure. So I'm not luckily going through liver failure yet. But they say it attacks you neurologically. So yeah, lots of tremors, ticking, weakness, fatigue, like lack of balance. So we're waiting on one test, and it's kind of funny. It was a 24-hour P test that I did like 2 weeks ago, maybe, in the hospital. That is kind of lost in transit. They like tested for the wrong thing, but maybe the doctor was saying maybe the test got sent out to find the results. So we don't know. Like, I haven't gotten the results back for it. This is just one of the ideas. I am like a mystery to all the doctors. They're saying, we have no idea what's wrong with you. So if it's not this, there are some other guesses, but I'm not gonna get into that today, just because what's the point? Because it's just another guess. So as of right now, yeah, so after we talked to the neurologist, we said, okay, well, what happens if it's Wilson's disease? Then what happens is they put you on treatment to detox your body from copper, and then you'll have to do that for the rest of your life. You have to be careful with your copper intake and make sure that you're continuously detoxing from copper, because your body can't filter it. As well as he said, I'll have to go back to see him. The other thing is, as they said, that my doctor said he wanted to send me to Vancouver. Apparently at UNBC, or they have a movement clinic, and they can test your brain to see what kind of tremors you have, because I guess there's different tremors as well. And to treat tremors, it's better to know what kind of tremors you have so that you can have the right medication. So I was taking a very, very high dose of seizure medication, which I have been coming off of very slowly. And then the only thing that I will be taking is clonazepam, which is a benzo, which is not good for you long term. So hopefully, I have a doctor's appointment coming up here soon. I will find a medication that will help me with my tremors. My tremors have improved, and I think this will be a different video just about kind of recovery. I'm in physio right now. I'm walking a lot better. I can't walk far, but I can walk a little bit, still using a wheelchair a little bit, just gaining back balance and strength. Yeah, it's a big mystery. There's a lot of videos I want to make on this topic, especially grief and not being okay and just emotional times. I think that will all be really important, and that will all be coming up, especially grief. It'll be about a month and a half since I've kind of been sick, and so I've been doing as much as I can to stay positive and spend time with people and do stuff like this. Get my hair done like crazy, because like all I have to do is sit still, and I mean, I take medication to not tremor. So, and if I start to tremor, then I just take more medication. Like, I don't know, it's really important. Sometimes it's hard for me because people look at me and they say, oh, well, you look so good. Like, you must be doing better. And it's like, no, I'm highly medicated and I'm doing things to take care of myself, because that's really important. So videos that will be coming out will be what I'm doing for recovery right now, taking care of myself, a video about grieving my old life. Yeah, also a video about moving out of me and my partner's place, but staying together, because I think that's really important to normalize. So yeah, this video was kind of just thrown together. I've been making myself super busy with random things, and trying to stay on track of making videos because it is important to me and I really like talking and sharing. So I apologize if sorry, I had a tick there. Sorry. Whew. When it's too hot, I start to tremor. Sorry if this feels rushed. I've just been really busy with random doctor's appointments. I'm gonna start tremoring now, so this means that I gotta go. Thank you for watching. Now you have some of what it looks like for me to tremor. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys soon.